Hello, Doug.
Hello, Sean.
Hey, so today you wanted to talk about...
The three biggest mistakes buyers make when they're looking to buy a home.
Okay. So what's mistake number one?
Mistake number one is that you are thinking that you might be able to find a really good home that is above what you can actually qualify for. So, for example, let's say you qualify for a $300,000 house, and you want to look at $350,000 or $360,000 houses, thinking that the sellers might come down.
Right. You could maybe come up a bit. They could come down.
Yeah, or that, because if you are maxed out at $300,000, maybe the seller will have to come down $30,000, $40,000, $50,000.
Okay. Okay.
Well, in actuality, the U.S. national average for the prices between the list price and what it actually sells for is 96.1% or 95.8%. It's right around 96%. So, an actual everyday occurrence, you're not going to be able to negotiate that much of a difference with most sellers. Now, I'm not saying that they aren't out there, but you might be wasting a lot of your time trying to look at homes that are way over your qualifying amount, and in the meantime missing maybe some really good deals that are out there that are closer to your price range or even below what you qualify.
So a good rule of thumb is around maybe 4, 5, 6%.
Yeah, you can try 10%. Yeah,
because I've seen sometimes, right, if this makes sense, if a seller, let's say they really are overpriced by 10 or 15%, they're just mentally not at the point to accept an offer that low. That's normally what happens.
Yeah. So
if they are mentally there in that state of mind, then they lower the price.
Yep. Okay.
So most of the time when we've seen where we've tried to make a deal where we're offering 10 to 15% less, most of the time the seller is just not ready to do it. Even if it's a bank, they're just not ready.
Oh,
even
a bank,
there.
Yeah, even a bank.
Okay.
And so the second mistake most buyers make is by seeing a property they found on the internet or whatever, and then wanting to go look at the inside of the home and not driving by the area that the home is located in first, because you also are not only buying the home, you're buying the area that it's located in.
So drive by the properties before you schedule the shows?
Right. We've had people say, hey, this is the perfect house for me, except for that when we pulled up to the driveway, we realized that the house is located across from a manufacturing plant.
Right.
And it didn't smell so good, or whatever.
Or
whatever.
bright lights at
night.
Lights
at night, whatever.
Ballpark, or...
So there are some things some people don't care about, but
And you could find some good things, too, that maybe you didn't know. I mean, I know a lot of people, they've lived, in a community, St. Paul, Roseville, Forest Lake, the west side, whatever, their whole life. And they didn't know, like 12 blocks that way, it's actually, there's another park right next to that house for sale, and they never knew that. Or there's easy access to a bike trail or something.
Correct.
So driving by.
Yep, driving by is a good plan. And the third biggest mistake is to rely on just the internet for your searches.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
Well, the internet searches are only pulling the real estate information off of the realtor MLSs, where they actually have, that's where the hard data comes from, is from the MLS information, and all that information is fed eventually out into the internet, onto the other search sites.
Okay. So what's the problem with?
Well, the problem is that you might come across a house that, hey, I want to go see this house tomorrow. This is my perfect house. I've driven by maybe, and you tell your real estate agent, and the agent says, well, I'm sorry, it sold 2 days ago. And oops, so it's not accurate information. The opposite of that is there might be properties that are in the MLS, and the sellers have requested that their information not be published on the other internet sites.
Yeah, so I just had one, we were just talking about this because I had one where the agent was asking me about it because their seller had requested it not show up on all the other internet sites besides the MLS.
Yeah.
And so you would never even know what you're missing.
Right. So by not getting that accurate information from a good real estate agent right directly from the MLS, you might miss out on your best property. And it might just be that it's temporarily off the market because there was a death in the family, a sickness or something. The
Right.
dog got run over, whatever, and they want it off the market for a certain period of time. So there you go. There's some houses that are really may be your house, and it's not available on the internet, and
Right.
you don't even know it.
Yeah, because there's a setting on the MLS that an agent can choose. Instead of active, it's called temporarily not available to show.
Yep.
And none of those properties show up on any of the IDX websites out there,
Yep.
Realtor.com
Nope.
or any of them.
They're not allowed to.
They're not allowed to. And then also, I just have to mention this as kind of a techie, right? So, because I explained this scenario to you, let's say an agent lists a property at 2 p.m. on the
Yes.
MLS.
Uh-huh.
Most of those internet sites don't update until like midnight or 2 a.m.
2 a.m. Mm-hmm.
So you might not find out about it till the next morning. Whereas with our buyers who are getting the MLS feeds,
Mm-hmm.
we could get them into that house that night if it was a great fit.
Sure.
And possibly even write up an offer before the other buyers even go to see the property. So sometimes we've helped buyers get to those best deals before anybody else does.
Yeah. Or the other case. Let's say this happens, and then we'll.
Okay.
I go to a seller, and we decide to put it on the market, and I'm there at their house, at 7 p.m.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I've got a certain amount of time to be able to put that in. I'm not going to put it into the MLS that night.
Right.
So I come in the morning, and I put it in the MLS in the morning.
In the morning, very common.
At 9 a.m.
Right.
Go. I'm doing good. I got it in there right away.
Uh-huh.
Well, if you're relying on the internet, you won't get that
Might not
until
get it
the
right
following day,
Right.
because it doesn't.
Well,
It
even
won't
longer.
upload until 2 a.m. the next day, and then
Okay.
you'll get up in the morning and say, "Oh, here's a nice one." And so, anyway, so to get accurate, instant information is the best way to go and talk to your real estate agent about how to do that.
Right.
Not that the internet isn't good, but there is some information that is missing or delayed.
Right, because all of those sites, they all have to go back to the MLS for their data and their updated
Yeah.
photos and their supplements and their tour links and all that stuff.
So there's a slight difference there
Okay.
in terminology between access to the MLS and getting information directly from the MLS, and on an internet site, or getting it right instantaneously from the hard source.
Okay.
Original source. Okay.
Hey, thanks, Doug.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.